hopefully in 10 minutes. Hey Facebook, yay, everybody's at the party. So I'm gonna do a quick mini batch, which means I'm gonna do more than one recipe. I'm gonna do 2 recipes at once to show you how you can sort of time them. We have a really stacked day today, so one recipe I'm going to take so we have lunch, and then the other recipe is so we have dinner when we come back, and I do this all the time. I love to multitask. I'm gonna show you guys how I do it. I am making the green curry chowder from this week's meal plan, and I'm also gonna make the harvest rice. And it's funny because I let my husband pick, and these were not what I thought he was gonna pick at all from this meal plan, but I love both the recipes, so I'm excited. So anyway, let's get started. Let's get going. Big day ahead. Bring you on down. You guys can see me. I do have my trusty mini assistant here. The first thing I'm going to do is the harvest rice calls for cooked rice, so I'm going to throw this in the microwave. So that can go while I get started. Okay, so the first thing I need is my onion, which is right here. I have a very small workspace today. Okay. And this onion is humongous. Do you see how big this is? It's like gigantic. So I'm not going to use the whole thing because that would be too much. No biggie. It stays fine in the fridge. So yeah, even this is still too much. Just too much. Okay. So get my mess. Get my onion here. Get all this little skin off. Okay. So now I'm just going to... I do a quick little chop to help my mini processor out a little bit. You know, I am going to add a little bit more onion. Why not? So let's do like half of this guy. Okay. And I'm sure I'll get around to using this other onion later. It's not a big deal. It's just a little onion. So. Look at that. So fast, already chopped. So I'll just put this in here, get them going for my soup. And so what I'm basically doing is I'm cooking the rice for the rice salad and working on the soup at the same time. My microwave's working for me, so I always put my appliances to work for me. So I need a little bit of broth here. Shake, shake, shake. All right, so now that's going. I'm going to put my top on so it goes a little bit faster. Put you here, move you out of the way a little bit. What's next? Oh, I'm going to have to do some potatoes. So the recipe calls for 1 pound of potatoes. I bought this guy. This is how I do math. People are like, you don't measure your stuff, and I'm like, hell no, I don't got time for that. So I bought this little bag, and I can see it says that this is a 1 pound bag of potatoes. So if I need a half a pound, what does that mean? I use half the bag. This is how I live my life. And I'm actually going to get into this a little bit later with the curry powder. The the green curry paste, the recipe calls for 4 tablespoons. And you're like, well, what's that? So I just look at the ingredients, and the nutrition facts says 1 tablespoon is the serving amount 8. Okay, that means there's 8 servings in this. If I need 4, that's half the jar. Magic. So yeah, that's how I just, that's how you kind of make it intuitive. Okay, back at this. So like I said, I need half the potatoes. So my way of doing it is like, get all the potatoes out, and then it's like, 1 in, 1 for me. 1 for the bag, 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 1 for me. Is that right? 5. Yeah, ta-da! Very easy. So easy. Okay. So now this I am going to chop manually. I'm not going to put the potatoes in there because I'm a little picky about how I like my potatoes to be chopped. So not a big deal there. And so this, I basically like do 8ths. But you could do it bigger, smaller. It's kind of, the bigger they are, the longer they take to cook. So on that note, maybe I will make them a little bit smaller today because I am a little bit pressed for time. And they do have all kinds of fancy potato cutters. And I'm actually just going to throw these into my pot as I cook them just to get them out of the way. Because, whatever. You guys see? Everybody can see? Potatoes in the way? All right, so I am just, Facebook, I don't think you can see. So like I said, I'm just chopping these up really quick. I'm not being super fussy over the size of my slices. I'm just trying to make them kind of uniform. You know, sometimes kind of is the best you can do. I'm eating it, not really worried about presentation. All right, so getting these going. And my rice is done, yay! Let's see, what else do I have here? And I got 2 more potatoes after this. More potatoes in. All right, last potato. And you'll see I leave my skins on. I do this on all of my potatoes because there's so much nutrients in them. So here we are. I hope everyone is having a beautiful weekend. It's finally cool here so I can actually make soup. It was like 100 still last weekend, and I was like, I'm never going to get to have soups. Oh, I lost a potato. Come back. Woo. There we are. Oh, that one's not coming back. Okay, I'll be scraping that off the stove later. So with all these guys in here cooking away now, what else do I need to do for that? I need to do that remaining broth. Oh, yes, so I need to add the rest of my broth. I am going to save a little bit for my next recipe. I'm just kind of feeling it out. Yeah, that feels like half a cup. All right, so the broth's in there. This recipe also uses coconut milk, and I actually have a whole bunch that I froze from another week. It's left over from, I think, 2 weeks ago. I always freeze whatever's left over. So it's a nice kind of like congealed. So I'm just going to put it in my microwave for like, I don't know, 30 seconds, see how that goes. Look, my rice is done. Yay. Transfer 1, put you to work here. So now that's going. What else can I do in the meantime? Oh, I can get to my rice. Duh. Okay, so on to the next recipe. Oh, real quick. So for my green curry, I am going to add peas a little bit later. And the recipe also calls for corn, which my my husband can't have. So I'm going to divide it up into 2 containers, one for him, one for me, because it serves 2. And I'll put broccoli in his and corn in mine. That way we both get it. Oh, and let me check on this. That was 30 seconds, super fast. Oh, it's still kind of hard, so we'll do another 30 seconds. 30. Okay, onwards. So the next thing I need to do, other than make some space for myself, is to get my harvest rice going. So let me get a big bowl. Let me turn this way. Making everybody sick with all my movement. So I need to cook my apple. So let me dice that guy up real quick. And my apple I will put in here. And you'll notice I'm not cleaning this out. It's still going to have a little bit of onion because it doesn't matter. It's fine. It's going to just add a little bit of extra flavor. I'm using a green apple because that's all I had on hand. You can use any apple you like in this recipe. It's one of the beautiful things of all the Meal Mentor recipes is how flexible they are. You could even use a different onion if you wanted. So, getting the core out here. I know, pugs love apples. You know, the green apple is going to be really pretty too. And this is the same thing. I'm just sort of chopping it how I like it, to the size I like. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Yeah, you can. Okay. So it's just like, you know, little cubes. Not a big deal. All right, get that onto my stove. I'm losing all my stuff today. All right. I'm keeping an eye on this pot, waiting for it to boil, because then I'll reduce it to a simmer. I know. Pugs, are you excited? We're going to another pug fundraiser this weekend. I know. It's so exciting. They're like, can I just have all the apple? Okay. My pugs love apples. And there's that. Oh, Facebook, you keep trying to snooze on me. Alrighty. So, yeah, almost done here. Then the fun times. I get to make a dressing and you guys get to watch me do my dressing dance. Okay. Oh, big piece? No, not a big piece. More in the skillet. A little bit more. A little bit more. Almost there. Oh, I was supposed to put this in the food processor. After all that talk, I ended up chopping it myself. Oh, well. It's been a long week. Alrighty, I'm going to move this out of the way. Alright, so now I'm just going to saute these apples because I like them a little softer. I don't want them to be too hard. You could leave it raw if you really wanted to, but I do like it a little bit. I like them a little bit cooked. And I'm going to add a little bit of seasoning to spice them up. A little bit of cinnamon. You guys know me, I don't ever measure. A little bit of curry. All right, where's the top? Where's the top, Pugs? Always in the dishwasher. All right, so. I don't know, can you guys all see? I know you guys can. I'll lift you guys up. You can see that I have my soups going. I'm going to reduce that to a low. And I have the apples back there. So super fun. Someone asked if I'm cooking in an Instapot. I actually don't own an Instapot. I hated it. I had one. It didn't work for me. I have a Cuisinart pressure cooker that I like a lot better, but I'm not using the pressure cooker today. I thought about that. If I wasn't going to have time this morning, I thought about putting the chowder in my pressure cooker for like, I don't know, a few minutes to see if it could do it that way. But then I thought I have to make the harvest rice anyway, so I'll just make the soup on the stove while I prepare the rice. So that's where I came to for today. Lily, you can't be there. Bye-bye. Go away. Thank you. Where was I? Okay, so my dressing, the harvest rice will be done as soon as I make this dressing. Okay, so if you guys haven't seen me do this before, I don't whisk things in a bowl. I put things in a jar, and I give my bicep a workout. That's how I do it. So, fun times. So I got to make my dressing here. Some maple syrup. I am actually going to measure, though, because otherwise I will just pour way too much maple syrup in because it's so syrupy. Where's my thing? Okay. I love this dressing. It's so delicious. Put some balsamic in here. And I'm using all generic stuff, guys. Everything I'm using today is generic. I don't buy fancy, expensive stuff. It's already expensive enough. Some Dijon mustard. This is generic. The last of my Dijon. There you go. You've served me well, bottle. And let's see, what else is it? Oh, some pumpkin puree. I think you guys caught me last week. I ran out of pumpkin puree and ended up using frozen butternut squash puree that I had in my freezer. How I got that, I don't know. But today I have pumpkin, so no wacky substitute here. Let's see, what is that? 3/4 a cup, so that's like half a can. Oh, there we go. Oh, where's the spoon? All right. Okay, my pumpkin. Let's see, what else is in this? Oh, raisins, but that's not actually in the dressing. So, so yummy. I have it all in my jar, and then I just, like, I actually jump. You guys can't see me doing it, but, like, I jump. Like, this is my workout for the day, is making this dressing. Okay, here it is. I did it. So exciting. I'm out of breath. Okay, that was a lot of extra work. So that's my dressing. And checking on my apples. I don't know. Oh, Facebook, come back to me. You guys can't see it, but Facebook can see I also roasted some squashes this morning. There we go. Yeah, a knife works as a spatula sometimes. So there we go there. Okay, so where's my bowl? I lost my bowl. Here's my bowl.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Oh, thanks, Alexa. That was helpful. That's hilarious. I heard that a lot of you guys were having Alexa alarms when you hear me say, like, Alexa set an alarm. Hilarious. Okay, so my rice that I microwaved is going in here. Because I'm too lazy to cook it myself. So there's my rice, and now I'm going to put in my, what else is in here? I'm going to put in my dressing that you guys just saw me make. I think I'm going to need a spoon for some help here. And this dressing is just good as a dressing too, by the way, so make sure to use it like, you know, it's really, I actually used this dressing last year at Thanksgiving and everyone loved it. So it is a good Thanksgiving recipe. And I am going to add a little seasoning because you guys know me, I can't help myself. I always double and triple spices because I really like stuff to be super flavorful. So there's that. And then gonna put my cooked, oh my god, these smell so good. I love cooked apples. So I'm just gonna spoon all of my apples into here. Smells so good. My nicely cooked apples. So I have a little bit of the cooking water left here, and I'm going to do, this is a big secret, is I'm going to put my raisins in that hot broth so that they plump up and get real nice. So, nice and plump. Break apart. There we go. So I'm just going to cover them really quick. It just makes them really nice and plump, and I just really like that. So I need to add my nuts. And a quick little tip about nuts is I always keep mine in the freezer. It just keeps them really fresh for a really long time. And so there's my nuts. They're in the freezer. Well, they were in the freezer. They're not anymore. I do need to chop these up. They're a little bit big. But so here is my salad so far. Beautiful, right? Gorgeous. And so now I just need to mix it all together. You know, I might add like white beans or chickpeas or something to this because there is a lot of it. It's gorgeous. So beautiful. So gorgeous. And I do need to, like I said, add my raisins and my nuts, which I'm going to do real quick. And then I'm done there. So here are my nuts. I'm using walnuts today. I've also used peanuts and pecans. You name it, I've pretty much used it in this recipe. And there is a slimming option for this, so if you don't want to use nuts, just see the slimming option to find the lower fat option. But I like nuts in this recipe. Those go in there. And let's see how my... Yeah, they're plumping. They're getting a little plumper. Yeah, we'll give them a few more minutes. But that's it for the rice. Just got to add the raisins to it. But my salad is done. I can come over here and check on my soup. And sort of the situation here is just making sure all of my potatoes are tender, which they are. So I'm going to turn that off. And then bring my little friend back over because he's going to be my blender. So half the recipe I blend half of it to make it sort of like that creamy, really sort of chowdery, but because it's the potatoes that are being blended, it's not as fattening as like a cream. So I'm just going to go ahead and get a spoon out here. Oh, stop trying to snooze. And just add some of these here into here. And if you had an immersion blender, you could do that too. Go. R. And away we go. So it's like basically mashed potatoes. Just going to put that right back into my soup. Actually, that's a good idea. If you had leftover mashed potatoes, you could totally use that to turn a soup into a chowder. That is a brilliant idea. Good thinking, Lindsay. All right. Don't mind if I do. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. All right. So as I mentioned before, you know, my coconut milk that was frozen. I got to add this in there now. And what else did I say I needed to add? Oh, my curry powder. Or my curry, which was, like we already discovered this earlier. Watch, you guys, I'm going to use the back end of my fork. Like, this is how I do. Like, I'm going to use the back end of my fork because why am I going to dirty something else? So, that's how I do it. I just, you know, the back end of a fork is the same as a knife. And because there's still a little bit in there and I don't want to miss out because it's so tasty, I'm going to get a little bit of water. So just a tiny bit of water. Yummy. More shaking, more shaking, more shaking. So I could have put a little bit of coconut milk in here too if I didn't want to water it down. All right, so get all that up. Pour that in there. There we are. Look at that curry chowder. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So that's it. I'm all done. I do need to add my peas and corn. Where'd my towel go? Here we are. So I do need to add my peas and corn, which I'm going to do here in a second. Like I said, I have to divide it because one of us can have corn, one of us can't. But otherwise, we're done. Oh, I forgot about my raisins. Let me add those real fast. Okay. Now I am done, for real. Oh my gosh, this curry looks curry. Oh, I'm getting them all confused. Okay. So, here is my beautiful rice salad. Do you see? Isn't it gorgeous? So gorgeous. And my curry. I'll pick, you know what? I'm just going to pick you up Facebook. So, there's my curry, although all the vegetables are hiding at the bottom. Oh, this is hard to do. There they are. They're all in there. They're just hiding. And you can see my rice, and that's my squash from earlier that I roasted. And so we're done. I just got to pack this up, and now we have dinner and lunch for the whole day. So super fun. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Again, this is from the current meal plan, which is the November 1st meal plan. It came out on Wednesday. The last day to get it is Tuesday. Another meal plan comes out on Wednesday. It's always fun. Good week. Hope you're having a beautiful weekend. And thanks for hanging. And visit getmealplans.com if you want these recipes. Bye, guys.